This is a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and this is no longer really an S phone because it is pretty much in every way a Galaxy Note reborn with the S lineup name. That's pretty much what I have been able to tell so far by looking at this phone. Now, the thing is, I will be honest, I haven't paid a lot of attention to the specs on this phone, and that is by purpose. I know the basics, but I really want to experience this phone, just completely as a new thing. So I got the S22 Ultra in the 256 gig storage in burgundy. So let me go ahead, lift off the box. It's a very similar Samsung box, by the way, very thin, just very not, complex. So let me go ahead and lift it off. I really do like this S in the burgundy color. It looks really good, adds a very nice touch. So right there we have the S22 Ultra front and center. It looks just like a Note. Like, it looks like every other Note I've ever seen. So, okay, I'm not going to flip it on the back just yet. I will see that in a second. That color looks really good, though. Just the glimpse I've gotten of it so far, really good. Very glad with my decision. You get just this one packet in the box. Let's open it up. It's probably going to be the USB-C cable. Yes, it is. And a quick start guide from what I can see. Ooh, there we go. So, it refuses to come out. So, USB-C cable and a quick start guide. So that's it. That's all you get. You get three things in the box. You get the USB-C cable, you get the quick start guide, and you get the phone itself. So a very, very minimalistic unboxing experience, if we can call it that. So let me go ahead and take a look at the phone itself, and I'm going to flip it over and look at it for the first time. And oh my God, that actually looks absolutely incredible. I really like this look. First of all, this color really, really looks good on this phone. So if you had any doubts about the burgundy, it looks fantastic in person. Second off, I'm appreciating the cleanness of the design. There's no weird camera designs here. There's nothing that's, looking out of place. It looks very minimalistic in terms of design, but very, very cool. Now, I will say I did not mind the camera bump of the S22 Ultra. The S21 Ultra. I know a lot of people weren't fans of it, but I think this looks really good. By the way, I still think that this is one of the best colors Samsung has made too. It was really good. But this color is no less. Like, Samsung really nails it with colors every time. So let me go ahead, take off this plastic, and just get a better look for the phone. So of course, I'll give you guys a look around the phone. So the front is a 6.8-inch display. It does have a curved glass on both sides. Not a fan of the curved glass, but it's just always been here to stay with the bigger Samsung phones. The bottom is very flat, and the sides are rounded off. It's an interesting design choice. I wonder if this will dig into my palm like the older Note phones did and annoy me. Hopefully not, but if that is the case, it will be dealt with at that point. But the top and the bottom are absolutely flat, just no curve whatsoever, unlike the previous S22, S21 Ultra, which had a significant curve on them. But size-wise, dimension-wise, they kind of line up to be very, very similar. The S22 Ultra is definitely wider, but that's probably just to incorporate that S Pen, which is the big new thing here, is that we finally have an S Pen on an S series phone. But this looks and feels like a Galaxy Note in every way. Like, honestly, it does. I will say, though, that this pen doesn't feel as premium as the Notes of before. It's a fully plastic, a matte black plastic pen. It does have the button on the side, and the top is color matte, so it does. I don't think the camera's picking it up right, but this is a burgundy end. It just isn't looking that way, so that's interesting. Let me go ahead and I'm going to boot this phone up, set it up, use it for a couple minutes, and come back and give you guys my initial impressions on what I'm feeling about the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Alright guys, so I ended up taking a really long time setting up this phone and just getting to use it, and that was a good thing because it gave me a lot more ideas and perspective on this phone than I was originally expecting to have in the first couple of minutes. So right off the bat, let me just tell you this is not an S phone. It might be an S22 Ultra by name, but this is a Galaxy Note. Like, I have come to realize that immediately. I have owned every S series phone since the S8. I've had the S8, S9, S9 Plus, S10, S20, S21, S21 Ultra, and now this. And this is not an S series phone. It doesn't feel like it. The shape is not the same. The design, language, everything. This is a Note phone through and through. Like, the last Note phone I had was the Note 8, and it takes me right back. The second I pick this phone up, it takes me back to the Note 8 days. which is not a bad thing. It's just, don't buy this thing, it's an S phone. It is a Galaxy Note for all intents and purposes. And that's what confuses me, is because why not just launch it under the Note brand? The Note is a very valuable brand, and it has a lot of fandom and reputation. So what confuses me is why Samsung ended up calling this an S22 Ultra, when they could have just called it the S22 Note or the Note 22 or whatever they wanted to call it. They could have just done that instead of this. Like, I truly don't understand what's going on here, but let's just assume this is a Galaxy Note and go on from there. So right off the bat, I want to tell you this. It feels way more comfortable in my hand than any other Note phone ever did. So Note phones usually made it didn't feel as comfortable, but this feels really comfortable. I don't know what it is about the design. I think it's just the more rounded off edges here really do help, and it feels really good in the hand. This phone really does. The buttons, they do line up pretty well, especially the power button is very perfectly located for me. And the fingerprint scanner, the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, is located perfectly as well. So ergonomics wise, this phone is actually really not that bad at all. It really does work super well. I didn't give you guys an overlook. So the side, there's the volume rocker, the power button. The bottom, there is the SIM card slot, the USB-C charger, speaker grill, and of course the S Pen slot that I showed you guys. The left side of the phone is bare. There's nothing there. There's antenna cutouts. That's about it. And the top of the phone, nothing as well, except for a microphone cutout and, of course, another antenna. So design-wise, it's actually a super, super clean design. I really like this design. So Samsung made it look like the cameras were flat in a lot of their promotional images. Trust me, it's not. The camera does have bumps on it. The thing I will say, though, is I initially thought it might be a little bit dangerous to have cameras just exposed like this, but after using it, I don't know, I'm not feeling as uncomfortable about it as I was initially just looking at the photos. So I think right off the bat, I will say this: the camera layout is quite similar to the S22. The S21 Ultra. As you guys can see, it has the same 4-camera array with the laser autofocus and then the flash as well. So a pretty similar kind of camera layout. The main thing that Samsung is touting, especially if you go through their website, is that the cameras are massively improved, and like there's a lot more improvements on night mode. And from my initial testing and impression, I have not seen that. I have not observed that. But again, that's very initial impressions. I will give it way more time, and I will compare it with the S21, and I will compare it with the iPhone as well, which I think is doing one of the better jobs with low lighting right now. So that being said, let's talk about the phone itself. Right off the bat, the display. Really big, really beautiful, very bright. I very much so like Samsung displays, and this does have curved glass on both sides, which I am not particularly a fan of, but it's pretty much the norm for all the larger Samsung phones, and that has been the case for a very long time. So that is what it is. But I will tell you this, Samsung does a really good job. There's not a lot of false touches on the edge, especially when I hold my phone like this, because that's where a lot of the false touches come in with a lot of other curved glass phones. Not the case for this phone. Very impressed with that. I will say this, it has this weird thing where if I open up an app, there's a big bottom black. So you can even see, like, that's what I was searching for. When you have the navigation bar set, look at how much space it's taking over that. And I realized that, so what I did was I switched it to the navigation buttons, and I realized that this black bar is there for the navigation buttons, but when you switch to gestures, it still sticks there. That's a lot of wasted space. Like, you could use that space on the display. Like, when you look at it from here, it almost looks like a massive bezel, which sucks. I mean, come on. Now, it does go away when you're watching videos and things. Like, if I go to YouTube, you guys will see it hides it a lot better, but still, it's right there. It's quite unavoidable. I'm not a fan of this, and I really hope that it's like just a software glitch or something will update and help, but really, it's just not cool, especially given the entire point of having a big display is being able to see more content on it. If you're taking away space, that's not cool. I'm just hoping this is a software thing and it's updated, but you can never know. So I'm going to assume that's the way it's going to be, and I am a little bit disappointed about that. If there are changes, I will let you guys know. Performance-wise, the phone feels pretty solid. Again, it's just all these new phones. They're really, really good performance-wise. There's nothing to complain about or nothing really that stands out anymore because of just how well they perform. They blaze through everything. The one thing I am noticing is that battery seems to be okay. It is draining on the quicker side, but again, initial impressions, that's... I have been setting up the phone. I have been downloading apps. I have been just, there hasn't been typical uses. I have been watching a little bit more HDR content and things on the screen more than I would usually, just to kind of get a feel for the phone. So it might just be that, but initial impressions are battery might not be the greatest, but we will see. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so it shouldn't be an issue, but again, I do want to keep a close eye on that as I test this phone further. So initial impressions on the S22 Ultra is very positive. I didn't know if I was going to like this phone or not, especially given that I haven't been a fan of the Note phones just because they were very uncomfortable to hold in the hands, but that hasn't been the case so far, and I'm very happy with the S22 Ultra. I absolutely love this color. I think it looks really, really premium, and it just gives the phone a very, very different look. I truly love what Samsung does with their colors, and this phone is no exception. So highly recommend the burgundy if you guys are in the market for an S22 Ultra. Looks absolutely fantastic. So in-depth comparison with the S21 Ultra coming, and just I will be testing this phone out top to bottom. So let me know what you guys want to know about the S22 Ultra and what you guys want to know comparing the S21 Ultra to the S22 Ultra down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. I'll have all the handles right here on the screen, and of course linked down in the description as well. Go check these phones out. I'll have them linked on Amazon if you want to go look at the specs or anything, or you want to buy them. I'll have those links down there. It really helps the channel when you click those, so I do appreciate it so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more S22 Ultra content coming up. I will catch you in the next one.